Hello everyone, this is Josh from Ag2Go. Today we are going to go through a GFX-350, but this would be the same thing for the 750 display. Just a general walkthrough. We're going to jump into a couple apps and show you a few things. Specifically, we're going to go into App Central and then also Precision IQ. We will go through vehicle setup, creating an AB line, and just some of the basic functionality of the display. So first off, this is an Android display. You can do things, swipe down from the top to get a ghost menu for any of your error logging or brightness of the display or settings of the display. So you can swipe this little bar left or right, make it brighter or darker. And then you can't, well, yeah, you can see it down at the bottom. There's a little ghost menu for going back, which we don't have any back display, or getting back home, or opening up any of your current apps. Over to the right is the square. You'll see this better when we get into another app. So the first thing is I wanted to go into settings and show you you can turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, as well as access some more features. There's display settings, some of you might want to look at. There's adaptive brightness, so the display will get a little darker if there's enough light in the room, or get a little brighter if it's a little dark out. So that's a nice feature. And you can also change brightness level in here as well. You can see down at the bottom what I was describing. The left button will get you back, and the center button will bring you right back to the home display. And then that square over here to the right will open up all of your apps. So the first app we're going to go into is App Central over here in the top right. This is where you can download any apps, kind of like a Play Store in any Android device. I currently have TeamViewer on this display, so we can check out my apps. And I have Quick Support TeamViewer on there. You can also go to the menu button and go to Licenses. This is a good spot to verify that you have the right licenses you need for steering or guidance, or any other kind of control. So it says I have a 350 display connected and my nav 900, and then you can also see what licenses I have. I have a demo unlock in this one in the display. And if I go to my nav 900, we'll see I have my Easy Steer, Easy Pilot. I do have an Easy Steer hooked up, and I'm going to make a different video for that. So again, we will go to the home, click the little home button, and then we'll go into the next app. Next app is going to be Precision IQ. This is where most of you will be doing all of your field operations. This will take you to the home screen for Precision IQ. Along the left here, you have a home button. You have the running man that's currently grayed out right now because we don't have anything, a job selected. We have our field. This will be where all your field data is. And then we have a diagnostic button. This will tell you everything that's connected currently to your device and what firmware version it's running, and if there is good connection going on. So this is a good way to troubleshoot any kind of power issues you're having. And then Universal Terminal is used for any implement with isobus in it, so any new implement a baler, a spray, or anything like that that's got an ECU for ISO bus and a connection, this can be used as a remote control for that. It does require an unlock, but this can do it. So the first tile that we're going to take a look at when you're starting off is the GNSS tile. We just want to make sure that you are getting good connectivity. You can see here we have 24 satellites. Everything seems to be working well. I have NEMA messaging off and radar output off, but you can go down to this edit button, which is a pencil and a piece of paper, and then we can edit any of those settings. So you can see there's 3 tabs here: corrections, CAN messaging, and NEMA messaging. If you wanted to do radar output, you would just swipe that on. And then if you wanted to go to CAN messaging, you can go pick ports and NEMA messaging. Oh, I selected port A. And NEMA messaging you can turn on or off as well. So I am going to cancel and go back. I'm just hitting this top left button. And then I'm going to go into my vehicle profile. So I don't have anything selected currently. This will be the first step for everybody. I do have a vehicle in there, but what I'm going to do is just create a brand new one. And then I'll also show you how to delete vehicles and implements as well, and I'll delete that old one out of there. So today I'm going to create a tractor. By clicking tractor. And then again we have some tabs up here. So the main tabs are vehicle type, guidance, and then the summary tab. And then under the vehicle tab we have type and then make and model here. So you can either select make and model to move on to the next tab or hit this arrow over here to the right. So we're going to select the arrow and go to make and model. I'm going to select the make. And if you just swipe up with your finger, I'm going to select John Deere. We'll make another John Deere. Do an 8000 series this time. Select the model, do an 8200. Select the option. The option is if you had any an auto guide ready tractor or anything like that, that would be in here. But right now we're just going to go with base model. And then you can name that down here at the bottom, whatever you'd like. I'm going to keep that as 8200T. And I'm going to hit this right arrow again off here to the right. We're going to go into the guidance tab. So this would be where if you had any kind of steering set up, an easy pilot, easy steer, autopilot motor drive, anything like that, you would select here and then select your steering system. I'm going to leave that manual for now. We're going to go into controller settings. This is going to be where you're telling this display how you've mounted the controller. And you can change the rotation of it, but straightforward, connections facing back is the most common way these are installed. We're going to hit that right arrow again. Antenna height, it's in there as 10 feet, 5.98 inches. We'll leave that just for purposes of this. Antenna left to right offset, we're going to keep that 0. I'm going to put this straight in the middle. And then antenna to center of rotation. I'm going to put that at 1 foot 6 inches. Then you hit the check mark on the keyboard first, and then the save check mark on the display. I'm going to hit the arrow and move on to measurements. These diagrams down here will correspond with the numbers up here. I'm just going to fill a couple things in here, not actually taking any measurements, so we'll do 3 feet there, hit the green check mark on the keyboard first. And then the save check mark on the pop-up window. And we're going to do the same thing for all the other measurements. All right, now we got our measurements in there. We are going to go to the summary. Make sure everything looks correct in there. Everything looks good. Hit the green check mark. That will save this tractor. And it'll take us back to the vehicle profile screen. And we're basically going to have 2 tractors to choose from here. I'm going to select the one we just made. And then I'm going to hit this yellow tractor, which will initiate that and save that as the tractor we're going to be using. If you ever need to go back into these, you can hit this edit button over here to the right and then get in and edit those vehicles. And then this button off here to the right is the calibrate button. So if you have any steering system, once you go in here and select your steering system in your tractor, then this will actually initiate, and then you can click that and do your different calibrations, angle per turn, and your roll offsets. So I have everything I need there. I am going to back out, and then we're going to go into our implement. I have a pull type sprayer in there set up, but if you wanted to add a new one, you would hit this plus button. It's going to ask you, are you doing, do you have any application control or any other device controlling it through this display? We're going to say none for now. And we are going to do some spreading. I'm going to pick a pull type spreader, and we're going to hit the right arrow. I'm going to name it. We'll name it pull type spreader. Hitch type. We'll call this a drawbar. Hitch to ground contact point. Say that is 6 feet. And then we will go through the rest of our measurements again. First thing, application width. We'll say this does 40 feet. And then this swath width is the actual swath you want to take. So if you want a little bit of overlap, you would click swath width, and say we wanted to do 1 foot of overlap, you would do 39 feet. And then you can see that fills in here. Your number 4 is overlap of 1 foot. Left to right offset, we don't have any. Physical width, let's say 10 feet. And then the physical length, we'll say that is 15 feet. And save. Now, we are going to go to application control. We don't have anything selected. You can turn that on and adjust if you did pick none. Put in your application control settings. Next, we're going to go to summary. See if everything looks good there. Hit save. That will save that implement. And then it'll pull up my original pull type sprayer and now my pull type spreader. And now these will all save in there, and whenever you boot up the display, you would just select your tractor and then your implement, and then you'd be ready to go. You wouldn't have to enter in all those measurements again. You can also, under the implements, copy. So if I wanted another, say I had another spreader, you could hit this copy button and then call it the, we'll call it the copy. And then hit the green check mark. And you can also go in and edit any of these or add them. Let's say I added that copy by accident. I'm going to show you real quick how to delete an implement or a tractor. We're going to hit the back button, and then we're going to go into this little data button down in the bottom right. It's a USB. And the implement I'm going to delete here is the pull type spreader copy. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to hit delete. And then a little trash can is going to appear. I'm going to select that. And then it's going to say, are you sure you want to delete this pull type spreader copy? I'm going to select yes. And then that will delete it off. And then it'll just give you a confirm pop-up. You're going to hit OK. And we're going to go back to the home screen. So we have no material required here because we put in no control of material, but if you put that in, then you would get a material down here. You'd have to fill in some of that information. I already have a field selected, but it's a similar process here as the other things. You'd go in here and we would add a new field. This uses a client farm field structure. So the client would be your organization, most likely. I'm going to call this Smith's Farm. And then the next thing down would be what they call a farm. So these would be tracts of land. So I might rent 150 acres from Joe's farm. I'm going to call that Joe's farm, and then the field name is the actual plot of land that we're going to be growing on. I'm going to call this Field 2. And then hit the green check mark. And then hit the save button in the bottom right. Now I'm on Field 2. I'm going to hit the home button in the top left. And I'm going to check my task in the bottom right. That's the last field. We have that set as spreading. That's perfect. Go back to home. Everything's green. My satellite's green. We're going to go into the run screen now. So I'm going to hit that running man in the top left. And now I have basically started a job. So in the top, you get miles per hour up here. And then it shows you your chevrons here, left and right. So once you set an AB line, this will tell you how far to the left you are or how far to the right you are. But off to the right of that is your application coverage mapping. So if you select that, you turn it on, and then when you drive forward, it will start to paint your coverage. You can turn it off, and it will turn it off. If you ever have the nav controller a little confused on which way you're headed, you can hit this button in the top right, which will reconfigure your tractor going front or back and get you going in the right direction. The steering wheel right next to that is if you had your steering engaged or connected, I'm sorry, this would be your engage or disengage. So when you get close to your AB line, you would hit, it would turn yellow, you'd click it and it would turn green, and then you could engage on your line. And then over here to the right are your guidance lines and feature buttons. So the first one in the top right is your guidance lines. There's basic lines up top, which is your straight AB, your directional AB, and then your curved lines, and then underneath and advanced is your headland passes, your pivots, and then boundaries if you wanted to do boundaries. For your under your advanced under headlands, you can actually do a boundary layer at the same time automatically as you do the headland. But we're going to start real quick first on the basic AB line. So you click the AB line button, and then an A appears. You can hit X if you just don't want to continue, or you can hit the A button and drop an A point, and then it's going to give you directions to drive 30 feet forward, and then a B will appear once you get to 30 feet. So my B appeared, I'm going to hit B, and now that dropped my B point, and I'm going to hit the green check mark to save it. Now it shoots a red line straight across the field, and I have my first AB line, and when I turn, you can see the blue lines left and right. Those are my next AB passes. The AB line to the right is a directional AB line. You can put in a number from 0 to 360, and this will give you your cardinal direction anywhere you are on the earth. So currently it looks like I'm facing about 88 degrees, but you could shoot a line directly north-south if you'd like. A lot of the perennial crop guys like this feature. The next AB line over, I'm going to hit X there. The next AB line over is the curved AB line. So you would hit this record button and then drive your curved AB line, and then you would hit the you would hit that record button one more time to save your B. We didn't have, I didn't drive forward, so we don't have that AB line in there. I will see if I can show you a headland AB pass. I'm going to say we're going to do 2 circuits. to start recording now. Now that just created my headland and my next pass through the field. And I'll automatically created a boundary as well. Now once you have your boundary in there, this will give you your total acres of the field, and then if you select the little paper down here in the bottom left, it will give you total acres covered. So as you turn on your coverage mapping, it will calculate your total acres. And will give you a percentage of the field that you have completed. You can see that down in the bottom right. So it gives you the ability to kind of do some self-calibrating as you're going through the field. The next button down to the right shifts between A-B lines. So if you had multiple A-B lines in a field or coming up on another one, you could hit that button and it will shift you to the next A-B line. The button down below that is the feature button. So you can add things like rocks or fence post or anything in there that you'd like to keep on that field at all times. The button below that is the guidance adjustments button. So you can remark a line here, left or right, any amount of feet or inches. You can also move the line to where you are currently. So if you click that, it will readjust the line to where you currently are. And then there are some nudge features, but if you're using that a lot, there's probably something set up that might need some work. Then your layers button here will show you the different available layers you got and the colors of the different settings you're on. And then you can hit your stop button up in the top left. That will stop and save your spreading job. You can see down on the right hand side we're about 71% done with that, and you can come back to that job and complete it. We're going to swipe up from the bottom, get out of Precision IQ, and now we are back to our tablet home screen, and we'll power down for now. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments about this video or want to see any other videos in the future. And if you'd like to reach out to us directly, feel free, 877-978-5477, or visit us at www.ag2go.com. Thank you.